Support your Hobbit hobby.
That's definitely getting edited.
That wasn't in the video, it's fine.
It still would.
Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another GBHL YouTube video. You are here with GBHL James.
GBHL Jamie.
And everybody else. We've got Damian with us, we've got Ed Ball, and we've also got Thomas Harrison. And we're bringing you a special video that will be coming after the very, very, very important...
So you know what's happened.
Final!
You know what's happened.
You know exactly what's happened, guys. This is a very
I've
important
won,
tournament.
I am the winner, I am the 2013 champion. He's rubbish, he's worse. Damien is awesome, and James, come on. Look at him, he's beautiful, isn't he? Careful.
Thank you very much. We are talking, of course, about Shadow and Sorcery. Shadow and Sorcery is a 350 points tournament, which
5
is
games.
at Titans. Yes, 5 games, which poses some interesting dilemmas.
The thing is, you all have to play 5 games.
Yeah.
We can't
And
do
what
like
does it
a
take
cup knockout or anything.
You could do a Tom Harrison not turn up for the first game.
I don't think that'll work.
Still place.
Still plays. Something along those lines. Yeah, this is Shadow and Sorcery. Now this, we really want to do a tournament preview for this because it seems to have thrown up so many problems, so many experiments. Now let me just, for all the first day subscribers out there who don't realise how much is at stake here, this is a tournament which decides, what does it decide?
2013 Great British Hobbit League season final.
Yeah.
Decide who wins the league.
And I would say we thought it might be quite tense. No, it's not been tense at all really. It might
Too
have been
much
held
beer.
by a few bottles of Budweiser and some pizza, which solves everything. It's not really. It's not really. There's been a lot of smoke and mirrors. But that's because we've got 3 guys who are in contention here. Our very
The
own
only
GBHL
3
Jamie.
guys.
We've got Thomas Harrison, who's current joint league leader with the mighty Ed Ball.
Oh hey.
That's right. And a lot of the smoke and mirrors have been about what lists people are bringing, because 350 points poses a few problems, doesn't it, chaps?
Yes.
Yes.
No, it doesn't pose a few, it poses mountains and literally gargantuous issues.
Because you've got like 9 ring wraiths to pick between.
Damn, which one do I take? I mean,
I guess 10 really. You got your name and then the 9.
For those of you who
Surely
don't know
that's
what we're talking
18.
about, of course, Ed is renowned for bringing ring race on fell beasts.
No, I'm not. I don't even know what Felby
Yes.
is.
Although this season,
What
to
is
be
the
fair,
ring
you've
race?
been bringing lots of hobbits and all hero.
Well, for the 2014 season, this will be the 4th tournament. So far in the 3, I've taken 400-point hobbits, 500-point hobbits, 500-point 4 heroes. So no Felbeasts yet.
Now, what's really interesting about this video, what we'll do first, we'll talk about the trouble with picking armies at the points cost. We'll talk about the scenarios. We'll talk about the field, because I think that's really important, the people that come in and what they're likely to bring. And there are 4 of us who know each other's armies, and there's one person who
Yeah, Jamie.
who doesn't know whether we know what he's bringing. We think we know what he's bringing, and we're going to talk about that later. And he's actually going to have the confidence, because you might normally...
And
you can be honest,
integrity.
you can put your hands up to this, can't you? You would normally probably see what other people would bring in, wouldn't you? Or if you
It's
could.
only more recent times when there's a meta game. Obviously, there is the meta of the strategy battle game, but
The tournament meta.
there's tournament meta. There's actually getting, for those who do well and do fairly all right, and not perhaps play to win at all costs, or 2 tournaments on the trot. There is a theory to the game regardless of your full selection. So if you can get someone under someone's skin before even the first priority roll of the first game of the first day, that gives you that advantage.
Now, there are only a couple of players that I can think of who might do that. One of them is in this room.
I would say at least 2 of them are in this room. Hey, Jamie.
And me? I've been having fun. I've been having fun with all of this, actually. It's been really good fun winding a few people up. Okay, so we're going to talk about first selecting armies at 350 points.
The nightmare.
It's
Terrible, especially given the scenario spread.
How have you found it?
Oh, it's pretty easy.
You're okay. Yeah, but you're okay with that, Dave, because you've argued before, like those mid-level kind of tournament points, cost, size of armies, 500, 600. You struggle with your feral, because you are an Isengard feral player, aren't you?
I am.
And you struggle at points cost because you
They don't have a mid-level hero.
They can't bring
They've
a
got a
decent-
small points value hero, and they've got Saruman, and they've got nothing in between. They don't have like a 100-point hero. It's not an Uruk.
He's in
Would
the
you bring him?
Isengard.
Well, I bring him.
No, would you bring him as a... Because he's a...
No,
he's a good
I
level.
wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I like having Uruks.
Because you like the fluff.
I do, yeah.
So what's wrong with Felbeast armies?
That's a load of
happy-
questions.
Hang on a minute. We can talk about what's wrong with
Happiest
Felby's
coexistence
armies
in the world.
another time, but what we're going to talk about now is your ferals. So 350 points. You actually think they did quite well?
I think they did quite well. At 300 points last year, they ended up coming 4th, but they only lost one game, which then dropped me. It was the last game. They dropped me down the rankings. You won, didn't you?
Yeah.
You won that tournament. But they did really well at that points value because I don't think there's a lot that can compete with them. But whether or not they will tomorrow, it's a very tough field.
What's quite interesting is Damian is actually in with a shout of placing if a lot of things go your way.
Yeah, I think we worked out I need to finish 4 or 5 places above Jamie, who's going to win. Going to win.
Jamie is
not
the form
going
guy.
to win.
Playing to compete.
Jamie is the form guy at the moment. You know, he's got a couple of taunts, and this is another key thing to
Don't
mention.
build it up too much.
No, it's not the form guy. It's just my terrible dice.
Well, you know, you are the guy on form at the moment, and one thing that's also interesting to note is that this tournament also contributes towards the 2014.
Which is what I'm more intrigued about.
Which means you cannot win this one because you already won 2.
I can't win it.
No, it's not going to happen. It's mathematically impossible.
I think I can beat James' army.
I think you can beat your army.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Whoa! This isn't a time for sword.
Come at me, bro.
This is.
I will.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think-
you do that
with
while
my
you're safely
roses and
divided
their
by me,
exes.
guys.
I
Okay?
don't-
Enough sword fighting here.
I don't think I'll finish above him in the league, but I reckon. Depends on the scenario, but I reckon I could take your army that you're taking.
Okay, take your army. Take
Oh, let's hope we get played.
Okay, I think all of us honestly believe.
James is like a school teacher.
I honestly think all of us believe that our armies might do well against other armies. Otherwise, we might pick them. Do you know what I mean? So we don't have to sit here going like, I think I could beat all of you apart from Ed. That's what we think he's bringing. Okay, so you are bringing.
Okay.
Oh no! Actually, no.
No.
Okay. No.
We need to do
That's
the
a
reveal
song.
at the same time.
No.
Okay,
How do we do
let's talk about.
Love how I could reveal what I was taking, so I've got no chance.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
are you
sorry
taking,
about that.
James?
Yeah, but you've already showed your
You've
army
got
on
no
the table.
chance. What are you
Yeah,
taking?
okay. So I've decided. Originally, I was going to go for. What did you guys think I was going to bring?
Sons of Aral.
Toy soldiers.
Knight of the Pelennor.
Yeah. Do you think I was going to go?
Toy soldiers.
What do you think I was going to bring? To Rohan. I was thinking Knight of Pelennor, 10 Sons of Aral. It's a very me list.
But you don't have 10 sons of Aral.
Unfortunately, not.
Despite that video that made the photo that made it onto Facebook.
Yeah.
It's very James is aware.
Okay, so we are recording again. Excuse the lighting. I will brighten it. We've had
Oh
to
my
change
god!
camera.
I've changed sides on the screen.
Yeah, you have changed signs on the screen. Okay, well,
That's what
there
you
we
stare
go.
at the green light, isn't it?
Okay, let's not knock that because I think the laptop will fall off. Okay, so I was discussing what I was going to bring, and I was thinking the Sons of Aral, but I'm not got enough. I think at this point it's cost good if you can do sort of jack of all trades. So I've asked Jamie if I can borrow some of his Rivendell Knights, and I've got some of my own, and I am bringing Rivendell Knight Captain with Shield, 5 Rivendell Knights, 4 Knights with Shield, 1 with Shield and Banner, and Alfred! because we've got money on the line.
Actually, how's sweepstake going?
We've got a sweepstake on how many Alfreds are we going to be at this tournament.
Yeah, and
12.
that's
10.
You went for 12,
7.
you went for 6, you went for 7, I went for 8,
10.
and you went to. It's hard having to do opposite, isn't
Yeah,
it, ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've actually got some money on the line. The winner will get 25 quid. We've all chucked a fiver in, so that's pretty good. So that's
We're
what
gambling
I bought
degenerates.
because I thought bit of variety.
Yeah, it's surprising to me that all your army is mounted.
How many models is that in total?
It's not all. Alfred's not
Oh,
all.
Alfred's not there, of course.
It's a shame about the passenger rules, huh?
It's
Because then you get mounted Alfred.
Woo!
Put him on a Felbeast or something.
What do you think about that, chaps?
I think we'll do well. I think fight 5,
Lances.
good
11
bows,
bows.
lances, Alfred
12
as well,
in
boosting him.
total's pushing it though.
I don't think you'll win, but I think you'll do well. I think you'll win some games. I think you'll.
Win a game.
Three.
I
We might do average.
I think you'll compete.
Might do average.
James Braun took a very similar army.
12
Yeah, he came 5th or
Yeah.
4th last
12
time.
in total.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not enough. You won't win domination, you won't win hold ground.
There's no hold ground.
For the man himself.
Spider.
Yes, whatever.
It completely depends what we're up against.
Oh, Reconnoiter as well.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
faster.
Oh, we actually played Reconnoiter, and James beat me.
Really?
Yeah, but that's you. I mean, you're terrible.
Despite my sort of like 25 model force.
And the spider scenario as well.
And I suppose but that was pure luck.
No, he's got 20.
The spider scenario is luck. It is a lot of luck. Okay, so we're going to go on to the tent stuff now, which is actually these guys all revealing their forces. Okay, so I actually think that you all should bring. Damien's
Oh,
always.
should we go third, and then you guys can flip a coin or something?
Yeah, so
I'm
Damien,
third.
no, but
I'll be
Damien's
last.
next.
Damien-
Why don't you
I'll
give
do
them to
mine.
me?
No.
Oh, should we talk about what we think that we brought? Okay, so we all know what each other brought. So Ed, what do you think Jamie has brought?
From what you told me earlier, he's brought a halberd on horse, 3 rangers on horse. He's brought 11 rangers of Arnor with a warrior of Arnor with a banner, Alfred, Damrod, and Citadel Guard Bowman.
Can I just say?
I'm sorry for being such a good liar.
I think this is an exceptional example of how much James and Jamie love each other. To the point that they would go out of their way to spread disinformation in a very convincing way.
build a list.
I'm just playing the game because I've seen it all. It's fun.
To build a fake list and then spread it in
It's
secret.
not a fake list. That is a list that.
That's the list I was going to take.
Going to
Yeah,
Going
until
lying
Only he lied, technically.
Wildman.
yeah, only until very recently. Jamie did actually send me a lot of different lists.
There were many different lists.
A lot of different lists.
And you think I'm bad?
Shall I reveal the one?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so Legolas with armor and cloak is my general. I've got 4 Galadriel warriors with shield and elven blade. I've got 4 Galadriel warriors with spear and elf bow.
That's the reaction I want.
2 guard of the Galadriel court. 1 guard of the Galadriel court with banner. Beregond. 3 guard of the Fountain court with shield. 2 Citadel guard with longbow and spear. And Alfred
And Gandalf.
and Gandalf as my selectionary
That-
wizard.
So you literally a warband of Galadriel Court Guard with a banner and some Guard of the Fountain Court.
Pretty much, yeah.
You
Only
mess.
2 Galadriel Court.
No, I thought it was more. How many models?
3.
How many bows in total?
How many bows? 1, 2, 3,
6
7,
plus Legolas and Beregond.
9, 10. No, 9. Wait.
I don't think that will be a very popular list amongst the top 3.
What do you think about that, Ed, upon hearing that as a reaction?
James, sir, I feel that Jamie's list is carved from stone out of a lying Torag, whom, to be fair, when he spoke of the Grey Company army, yeah, I think of those two, I'd probably prefer the one that he's taken. But at the same
I like the
time,
Great Company one,
Where,
you know.
where
I did like it, didn't I?
where is the honour
Just-
among heroes?
Where is the horseman rider?
Where is the horn that was blown?
The sun's gone down in the west.
You have to give. You,
How did it come to this?
you have to give to get, and it's been a fun game, to be honest. It's been a fun game. And I'm glad that I was able to throw you off, actually. That's good signs for the
You
future
could
if
throw
I
me
ever
off
should
anything.
decide to become competitive. Okay, so next up, it's you two guys. So I think that you should bring your...
I think Tom Harrison said he's more than willing
Yeah,
to go
I'll go
first.
Oh, hang on. So before he does, what do you think Tom Harrison has brought? Oh!
I ain't got a clue, but I always figured that he himself might do his sort of trusted Gondor fluff, maybe.
But yeah, with everything at stake?
I mean, but given what I was not blowing smoke or mirrors with earlier, being the 15 Guard of the Fountain Court, the 8 Citadel Guard, Bowman, Faramir, and Beregond, being 350, that is a viable force.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
akin to
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
weren't too far away for Jamie, were you?
Anyway, you're
So-
probably like the Wolves or something.
No, I'm probably going to be repeating Jamie's list. So,
14 Mercury spiders.
it is Legolas plus armour and elf cloak as the general.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
4 wood elf plus bow and spear.
Oh!
2 wood elf plus 8 elven blade. 2
Mm.
wood elf plus spear. 2 guard of the Gladden court. Second warband is Beregond. 6 fountain court plus shield. 2 citadel guard plus longbow. 2 rangers plus spear. And Alfred.
Hardy stuff. So, similar in Ed, what do you think about that?
Literally hate it.
Why do you hate that, Ed? Just out of interest.
Because they're liars.
I didn't say anything.
Tom's never said anything.
No, Tom doesn't say anything other than average.
It's an average list that I wrote.
Right.
Which would you rather face?
I can't quite distinguish the minutiae difference between the pair.
I have more
I think,
blades.
to be fair, this there was there not talk earlier in the day of some random Facebook group Are you sure it's not true?
Very sure.
Can I just turn around and say, I have won. I have won. I've not even won the tournament, but I just won with mind games today. It's been so fun. Okay, there is no Facebook group. There is no Facebook group.
There could have been. Based on those two lists.
No, but that's really interesting.
independent,
That was completely independent. That is really
You need to
interesting.
fill in the amenable masses as to what Facebook group.
Okay, so I think we should all talk about
I hate them!
what we think that Ed brought.
Based
Now,
on a Facebook group that
All
you've
of
been
us, I
talking
think,
about.
probably agree on this Facebook group that I didn't set up. Well, Jamie didn't set up. None of us are set up. That doesn't really exist. But
None of
I
us
like
in
to
this
play.
room set it up.
But it does exist.
No,
it
it
doesn't
doesn't exist. Promise
It
you.
was completely false from James, just blowing smoke out of his.
It was funny. It was.
What's your list?
It's funny.
The Rivendell Knights.
Oh yeah, 12 models, not good enough. Terrible.
How many models have you got?
We all think that Ed has got 2 models.
Yeah.
And we all think he's got Kamal and Knight of Umbar with Felbeast. Would you all agree?
I think he's got
That's
Tom
fine.
Bombadil and
And
4
Goldberg.
Mirkwood Spiders.
Either that or Aragorn and 2 Elf Twins all mounted.
Aragorn and
that's the other
Horse
one
and 2 Elf
I've
Twins
been
was
considering.
what I was thinking
What
of.
about Aragorn and Tom Bombadil?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
so,
it's 2 Felbies.
paper, please.
It's hieroglyphs, you won't be able to read it.
Hieroglyphs.
He writes it in hieroglyphs. I mean, this is the level we're at.
It is.
Alfred,
Ah.
Fatty Bolger,
Oh.
Merry,
Ah.
Captain of the Shire,
Oh.
with a shield. Peregrine Took, Captain of the Shire, on a pony. Paladin Took,
No, that's lies.
Brandabras.
Lies.
10 sheriffs,
Lies.
2 Hobbit militia, 16 Hobbit bowmen, 20 battling brandy books.
You fit that all on a post-it note?
Lies. Let's have a look.
Oh my god.
What?
That's what you bring in?
Legit.
Wow.
That's legit. You can't go back on that.
That is a bombshell and a half.
That is a bombshell. Let's give Ed a round of applause. Playing the game just as well as any of us.
Yeah.
Well done, buddy.
Us.
Really, really good.
So,
I don't
Why?
want to
there's
face that.
out of so bearing
It's almost as good as reaction when he realised that Ed hadn't brought Felbeast
Yeah, the
to
first time.
Mansfield.
so out of the 5 of us in the room, and bearing in mind there's 25 quid riding on this, there's
That's another Alfred.
4 Alfreds out of
For
5.
Alfreds.
Come on! Team Alfred!
I'm going to take a moral victory of being the only person in this room not bringing Alfred.
Hang on, you can never have a moral victory for bringing Alfred with Bomber.
Ah,
That's
old
nuts.
days.
Yeah,
Gone,
yeah.
mate. Old days.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Very
Alfred and
good.
Legolas is more legit.
Very good. Very good. What's it? And now having heard that, I'm really
What's
interested. Are you guys less
others'
scared
reaction?
about facing that than facing...
I'm
Two
scared,
Felbies.
but less scared about the last game, which is when you'd expect to be playing Ed.
When
Yes.
I'd probably take Gandalf with Cast Blinding Light.
But we have
I would
So we have
rather-
cast plans.
I would rather fight Ed's Hobbits than his Felbeast, mainly
Yes.
because I have fought Ed's Felbeast 3 times and lost every time, and I don't think it's a particularly fun game, so I would be interested to play Ed.
I've
Probably
played
the same result,
Ed
though.
Felbeast once. And I won. Well, I've played his Shire once and lost. With Wood Elves, though, not with decent defence.
What was the rationale between taking Hobbits for Lords of Battle in the last game?
He intends to win.
Still got Cast Blinding Light and loads of archers.
Did any of the smoke play into your
Not at all.
choosing at all? So I'm interested.
I took some 350 points is adequate. I mean, Damian
Doozy.
Grantham and Chris Young will be overjoyed at this, but the scenario selection and the points limit is terrible. For in a good way.
It's terrible in a good way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's hard to plan for.
and
It's so hard to plan for.
My problem that I was having was 2 models. Additionally, the further problem was it outwardly looking in, as I think 2 carbon copy Wood Elf forces have shown. People
Slash Gondor.
people would almost tailor to the 2 Felbeasts. which means they're going to be in the region of 24, 25 models. Now, something you probably all missed out on, that army list I just reeled off is 54 models
Oh.
in 350 points.
Plenty of victory points.
Yeah, plenty of victory points for Lords of Battle.
But I outshoot all of you as well.
16 bows, 3 9, 10.
You're shooting through a rank of Fountain Court, though.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, hit banners.
I outshoot all of you. Oh yeah, by the way, of those 20 militia...
20 of them have axes.
Oh.
No, 22 militia.
I'm happier.
Really? Your force would lose.
I'd rather he'd taken the Fell Beasts, if I'm being honest,
Yeah,
for playing against.
Lords of Battle's going to be difficult, but then at the same time, the Hobbits rely on their shooting. You get closer and you just get another 40 odd stones thrown at you. It doesn't matter if you're defense 5 or defense 6 or defense 7. Hobbit stones kills trolls. It's true.
Kills Imrahil.
Yeah,
I've
it
seen
does
that
happen. So the closer you get, the more of you is going to die. I'm outnumbering most of them 2 to 1 to start
I
with.
think it's going to beat Marauders and the Goblins.
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because you ignore the Marauders. The Marauders have no might. This is the problem. If Mick does take such a similar force, he has little to no might. He loses, he gets shot, goblin blood everywhere. And yeah, I don't have to kill the Marauders to beat that. Because if he's going slow, which he shouldn't be with the Marauders, his goblin allies are getting destroyed.
You'll be charging 2 of your Hobbits every turn, knocking them down and slaughtering them.
And at what point before the goblins on foot get to my lines when they're all dead, at that point that force is broken and the goblins are taking courage at 2.
Yeah, but they've got the Fury.
Yeah.
Which won't survive.
So I reckon you could take the Marauders down with your shooting as well if you've got 16 to go.
Well, this is and the thing is they're only defense 5. So if I can work it such that they're within range
1 a
8,
turn.
range 8 without having charge, I'm getting 40 odd stones.
Put your hands up if you are happier to face that than 2 Fell Beasts. I've never faced 2 Fell Beasts, but it's
Two models isn't enough to win. You cannot win with 2 models in this scenario and this tournament is set up.
Scenario dependent, I put my hand up.
Not Lords of Battle.
Lords of Battle, I would be happy to. Domination, not so much, because I played it before and I know how tough a force it is. Which is probably what I'll end up playing
Reconnoiter.
tomorrow.
That's the thing. It is scenario dependent, and that's another good thing. Let's talk about the scenarios, and it's not just the scenarios, but it's also the order of scenarios. So we start off with modified recon.
Who's your general, by the way?
It's a Hobbit force.
Oh, you say to the Paladin. Okay.
Hiding at the back.
So we start off with modified recon. So it's different to normal recon. And it's different because you don't get victory points for each individual model, but instead it's how many more models than your...
It's relative. So
Yeah,
how
it's
many
relative.
times.
Yeah, how many times.
So that Ranger force I've got.
You've not.
No.
You can't do that now. It's illegal. So if any
You
of
get,
you
five,
do that,
you get
then
3 times off as much
then that is
as your
not
opponent.
right.
You get 5. You get twice as much off. You get 3.
If you get more,
If
you get 1.
more, you get 1.
Unless you get 1.
Yeah, if your opponent gets none off, they count as having 1.
Yeah.
For the purposes of
If you
those
get 1 and your
maths.
opponent gets 0, you get 1 victory point.
Yeah.
If you get 2 off and they get 1 off, you get 3. And if you get 3 off and they get 1 off, you get 5.
And then, of course, breaking and general.
Breaking in general count.
which is 3 and 3.
It's a good modification. I like it.
And it's an interesting start. And then we go into To the Death.
Yep.
Yep.
Which second up?
I don't like.
Which these 2 freaks have both got banners.
Banners for the win.
Oh, and you.
Yeah.
You freak.
Rubbish scenario.
You don't need.
No.
No.
I've got the extra. I've got 4 men on you, and you
Yeah.
have the banner. That's the task,
Any,
isn't it?
any scenario that you can win based on putting a banner in your army for all the game played is stupid. I do.
More
Like-
fool you for not taking one.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it's like going, yeah, you can win if you've got a monster in your army. Like, all right, brilliant, I'll bring a monster. Stupid.
Mate, fell beasts.
Anything like this, just
Actually,
stupid.
I don't know. I might have written different lists. I forget.
Yeah, bring the fellas.
So we've got To the Death next. And then what I think makes this tournament really interesting is that middle scenario. It's the Spawn and Ungoliant. Okay, so we'll talk you through the scenario. But first of all, who here has playtested it? Put your hands up. Okay,
Who here needs to playtest it? Who here doesn't need to playtest it?
Yeah.
You don't need to play test it. So, based on theory, how do you think that this one will go, Ed?
I win.
It's
Okay.
very luck dependent.
It's
It's entirely based on luck.
it's very much.
It's based on priority, which is based on heroic moves, which is based on a 50-50 roll-off if it's actually important.
It's only based on heroic moves if you get it anywhere near
If you get it anywhere near you, that's the thing. It does
First
a lot
few
of
turns.
luck.
If
It's
you,
not
if you
based on
win
heroic
sort
moves.
of the early priorities as I did in
Yeah.
a couple of our games, then
Nothing you can do.
don't get the spider near you and it dies.
It dies.
Then
Yeah,
your
but
opponent,
you
then
can
the
win the
person who didn't
scenario
kill it
ignoring
is
the
strength
spider.
3 bonus.
You
Yeah,
can,
they
you
are
can
then-
win
they
it
are then
as
chasing
I
you.
did against Charles, but once you've got the spider's points, it's very easy to then play the avoidance game.
Does it not end 25% or is it broken?
It's broken 50%.
Yeah, so here you go. Here's a 12 model army that's killed the spider. Right,
Away.
what I'm going to do is shoot 6 of his models. He's then broken.
7.
Whatever. No one really knows
What
what
he's-
happened.
You're relying.
No
Hang
one
on,
knows what's
you
broken
played me
anymore.
to a draw before, where we both decided not to get involved in the shooting game.
And what
No,
he's
no,
probably
no,
going to
you-
do is
you-
his 10-inch moving models are probably going to run away from your 4-inch moving models.
On a-
2-inch moving models if they're shooting.
Yeah.
So it's on the 20 or on the 36-inch board. It's possible for you to get to a point where you can't escape the bows for at least one turn.
Maths. Pythagoras for the win. Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, it very much is the kind of scenario right in the middle of a tournament that can turn everything on its head. Would you all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go from a position, it could be for a strong, and all of a sudden you might have won 2, but you lost 1, or you might be 1-1, and then it just goes on all in its head on that middle one. I think, or it can do. And then interestingly after that, we've got domination.
Yeah.
I like domination. Domination's
I
a
like
well.
domination.
I think domination is a well-written scenario. I think a lot of them have got flaws, but domination seems to be one which is quite good. Would you
Yeah.
all agree with that?
I would. It's my favourite.
I'd say that's the toughest one for Jamie now.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Have this one
yourself.
for
Let's do.
you two. Yep.
And yourself, James, I was saying.
Yeah.
12 models, 5 objectives, plus a general, plus breaking.
Our armies don't
Domination.
work well splitting up. So
No.
for this one, it's
Just don't
tough.
split them up.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're splitting up.
No, you just need courage,
Okay, different
variance. I win. Terrible dice.
And then the real challenge is after all of that, after those types of scenarios, the final scenario is Lords of Battle, but plus a wizard as well.
Yeah.
Lords of Battle as a finisher.
It's a nasty scenario for the finishing scenario.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, all the
Brilliant.
rest of them are sort of capped of what you can earn for VPs.
The last one can be like a run chase in cricket, effectively. Right, let's get as many VPs as we
I think
can.
it's quite a good one to end on there. Now that Ed hasn't got Felvis.
Yeah.
And that FAQ is worthless. Well, not worthless, but just
It's
not.
not worth it.
not
no.
relevant.
Someone will bring it
I'm getting
back.
that tattoos tomorrow.
I think it's a good scenario to end on. I think it's very bloody. You have to go all out to win. It's good.
Yeah, you've got to go for it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Got to go for it. It's
Which you
interesting.
Which means you've got to run at me, which means I'm going to shoot you. You're going to
Oh, it's not.
Just sit
No,
there.
you can just stand at 18 inches away at the time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You lose as well.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think that this tournament, out of all the ones that I've kind of almost been involved in, sort of throwing up the most questions for the most players. I think in terms of what they're going to
Very,
bring.
very strong field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine of the top 10 are here.
9 in the top 10, yeah.
Who's not here?
not?
James.
James Broad.
Which means,
He's guaranteed.
as much
top
as we're talking about these
10
three
anyway.
guys potentially winning the league, there's an awful lot of people there who could upset that. One of these 3 will win the league, but in terms of winning the tournament, there's a lot that could happen.
Well, there's a lot who can break into the top 10, top 8. From 8th down, 8th.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So there's a
No,
massive.
up to
seventh.
7th. Up to 7th is kind of fixed, but then
4th
8th
or
and
5th is Meal Sam.
yeah, and then 7th or 8th is James Brond or Charles Sims, but it's going to be Charles because he's the only one here.
It's all happening at 57.
And then
just so you know.
8th down to about 20th. If 20th in the league wins the tournament, can get up into 8th position. So there's a lot at stake there as well.
Say what?
It's good.
But on the plus side, Tom, even if you and I just don't rock up tomorrow,
Yeah.
we can't get worse than 3rd.
Yeah. Whereas Jamie has to worry about Damian and Sam chasing him.
Worry. You want to go?
So there you go. Can you feel the testosterone in this room? We've had a great night tonight, haven't
I
we?
can smell the testosterone in this room.
Yeah. Sorry, Damien.
That's what I'm saying.
So this has been our sort of mini tournament review. Anything else that you'd like to mention? Preview. Even.
Oh,
Review.
spells.
Yeah.
The rings.
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
a
So
wizard. You get a free wizard. You glossed over that.
Yeah, Gandalf, Saruman,
Wizard.
free wizard in last game.
Radagast, or Zerwich.
Your laptop's on 2%. That's fairly important.
That's
Yeah.
fairly important. It means it's
Oh,
gonna
wait,
go
which
in a
wizard have you chosen? Gandalf, wasn't it?
I didn't say.
It's Gandalf.
When you guys talk about wizards and magic rings, I'm going to plug this in.
So before every game, you roll a dice and you get one of 6 magic rings, which is essentially a spell. One of 6 spells. I think the Sap Will, Fortify Spirit,
Strength and Will.
Strength Will, Terrifying Aura,
Transfix.
Transfix,
And something else.
Curse.
Spanish,
Curse.
isn't it?
Curse.
It's one of them.
Curse, lose your faith.
And
Good spell.
then you get to use that on your one hero throughout that game in the normal rules.
So if you've got multiple will, you can cast it multiple times.
Yeah.
No,
If you've got one will,
no, only once.
You can
is it only once
You
per
can
game?
chuck more dice at it though, that's all.
You can
Oh.
cast the spell once
We
in the game in which
passed
it was
on the route,
selected.
Yeah.
It's,
Just once.
it's handy, but for my army, my only character I
So
will really give it
waste.
to has got 1 will, so I'm chucking his 1
Don't give
will.
it to Alfred. Oh wait, you're taking evil.
I haven't got Alfred alone in this room. He's got 1 will, cast it for a 50-50 roll, or save it for a failed courage test. It's not,
Courage test is a no-brainer.
I don't think it's worth it for me.
No.
I think it will be dependent upon what you roll in the given scenario and who you're against. If you've got the correct spell at the correct time, you'll.
Immobilise could be handy.
Yeah.
I'd be very much tempted to find Immobilise at the right
to get
time.
rid of a 3 fate model.
Like Legolas.
Yeah.
If you can see him.
Yeah.
Oh, all the other elves will be dead. It'll be fine.
You say this.
And then, yeah, the strength and will help the alpha players.
Yeah.
Who's looking at all these halves?
That'll be Tom.
There's your halves.
Mine went in.
So, yeah, you get one of them before every game. You can only roll each one
Can't find
once.
my actual one.
And then in the last scenario, you get a free wizard,
spell.
which is if you're a good army, you get Gandalf or Radagast.
Yeah, choose.
If you're an evil army, you get Saruman or the Witch King. And
A
then,
323.
yeah, and then you play Lords of Battle as normal.
Which, with me
that wizard.
taking 2 Ringers on Fellbeast, the clear option is the Witch King.
I think the Witch King is a clear option for any evil army.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
disagrees.
Jamie
I think
disagrees.
Saruman for Palantir, Auto Pass Courage essentially, and Sorcerer's Blast.
The Witch King's auto pass courage. He's got 20 will.
He's on about the huge standfast.
Yeah.
Of Saruman.
It's huge.
The Witch King.
It's the biggest standfast I've ever seen.
Apart from Thray.
It's like 12
One
inches.
of those two.
Thrall's
Throw-
the
throw-
Hogwarts.
12
Standfast.
inches is enough for anyone.
Throw a standfast can,
It's Thrain, isn't it?
I thought it was Thrall.
I think it's Thrain.
No, throw.
One of them
Research
dwarven blokes.
assistant.
I think it's Thrain.
Short, stunty.
And what do we think about these magic
Thrall's got the alchemist
magic
stone,
rings?
Thrain's got the...
Throw's got the battlefield.
I think the rings, it's a nice twist,
And
but
the spells seem to be
they're not sufficiently.
Game breaking.
Yeah, they're not going to have an effect on the outcome.
Oh, actually,
You cast Immobilise at the right time, it could.
Yeah,
That's the only one. What are these? Are there 6 spells or 5? 6.
six options.
So which are they? What are they?
The curse is nasty.
Curse
You need to resist that.
Take fate away.
But then at the same time, because it's random generation, you probably won't get it.
Well,
there's a 1 in 6 chance of okay.
you'll get. You
Well,
might
no,
not
Just
get
as
it.
likely to get it as not.
No, it's 2/3 actually. 1/3
No.
you won't get it because you don't use it in the 5th
Oh,
game.
you got
Oh yeah, it's 5.
Yeah,
You
1 in
get 4 of
3.
the 6.
Yeah, and then curse is like a 6 plus to cast anyway.
4 plus.
No, I think they're all 4 plus.
They're all 4 plus. You've got Sap Will, Mobilise, Fortify Spirit, Strength and Will, Terrifying Aura, and Curse.
And Fortify Spirit, you only want it in the final game.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
the only way.
it's the one you can't
Oh,
use
you
it
can't
for.
use it in. Oh, if you don't want it then, it's awful.
What's
Yeah.
45 spirit?
Fortify Spirit gives you +1 to resist. No, it gives
Plus
you
1 dice. Plus
two,
2
two,
dice.
two plus 2 dice to resist the spell.
But you have to be in base contact with
unless,
the model.
unless of course you're facing with 2 ring race on Fellbeast. in
Yeah,
which
that'd
case-
be
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
But
All
That's
right.
not coming now, is it?
Well, no, they're over there in the box
Yeah, but it's not coming now.
because you asked me to.
I've got it. I've got it on a nice postage note, which is it's a contract.
Hand
as
it
you
in.
would say.
This is Ed's list.
Yeah, been really, really, really interesting. It's been great fun to plan for. So even before we go, I have to say,
Yeah,
You
hats
say
off.
it's been fun to plan
Been
for.
ahead
It's
of
really not.
It's been fun to plan for when you've got nothing at stake.
Yeah, it's been the worst tournament to plan ever.
Oh,
I've not enjoyed
Games
writing this
Workshop,
list.
600 points. I planned me listing that long.
350?
This took hours of blood, sweat, and tears. There are people in Norfolk who've died. Me trying to cast this list. Carve it.
You were alright with it, weren't you?
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, it was alright.
Not much of a big deal.
That's because
That's because you can't win.
Divide 350 points by 12, and there you go.
on minus 60 divided by 12.
Yeah.
Nice. So this has been a little tournament preview from all of us who will have already enjoyed the tournament by now, and make sure you get on and make us eat our words from tonight about how we got on. This has been GBHL James.
GBHL Jamie.
And everybody else, support your hobby.
They've got names, you know. Tom,
We already-
Ed, and Damian.
We introduced them already.
We count.
I think actually at the start.
We're all first aid subscribers, James. We should
forgotten
deserve
who-
now. Oh, James, we're first aid subscribers.
From the Anonymous.